Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about the XEBEX rower. That's right, the same one that had all the controversy behind it in this year's CrossFit Open. If you don't know what happened, I'm not going to explain it. You can just go ahead and just Google what happened. And I'm sure you'll find plenty of resources on how the XEBEX rower was used in the CrossFit Games or CrossFit Open improperly, and it led to some faulty scores. That was the previous model. Today we're going to be talking about the latest model and the latest calibration, the latest hardware. This is like the XEBEX 2.0, and there's now a 3.0 that matches up even better to the Concept 2. But this is the one that GetRx sent to me so that I could do a comparison video and I can give you my honest impressions about the XEBEX rower as a piece of fitness, functional training tool, whatever you want to call it. It is, in my opinion, every bit as good as the Concept 2. It might sound crazy, but I've been using this for like the last, I don't know, 2-3 months as my primary rower, switching between this rower, or the XEBEX rower, and the Concept 2. And honestly, I haven't really noticed the difference as far as performance or the workout that I'm getting. They both feel very equal as far as how crappy workouts can get. There are some little differences as far as the build quality and the actual ergonomics of the machine. Some things I like better about the XEBEX, and I'll go over those. Some things I like better about the Concept 2. So without further ado, let's take a look around the rowers so that I can kind of show you the build quality differences between them. And to be honest with you, they're very similar machines, so don't expect a whole lot of differences. Alright, so now I'm behind the camera so I can give you guys a first-person view of the XEBEX rower. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of difference as far as the actual structure of the two machines go. The XEBEX rower is a little bit taller than the Model D Concept 2. It's a little bit shorter than the Model E is, so it's somewhere in between the two. The rail, pretty much the same exact length. The seat, I actually prefer a little bit better on the Concept 2. It's a little bit flatter. On the XEBEX, it's more contoured, but if you got a big butt, then it's going to be a little bit more uncomfortable on the XEBEX rower. The footholds, I do prefer on the Concept 2 to the XEBEX. There's this little notch thing right here that enables you to slide the foothold up and down, whereas on the Concept 2, I'm sure we're all familiar with the way that that adjusts. It's just a little bit quicker on the Concept 2. The straps are also better on the Concept 2 than the XEBEX, but that's not a huge difference. Now, one thing that I do like about the XEBEX here is that the foot pedals are a little bit wider than they are on the Concept 2. And it might seem very minor, and I don't think females are gonna really have any issues with the Concept 2s, but I know a lot of dudes that have trouble with, their boys getting stuck when they're rowing, especially for long periods of time. It gets pretty uncomfortable, so I really like that the foot pedals are a little bit wider on the XEBEX. The handle of the XEBEX is a little bit thicker in diameter than it is on the Concept 2. One more win for the Concept 2, because then it's a little bit harder to row for extended periods of time. Your grip gets a little bit more worn out with the XEBEX than it does on the Concept 2. Minor thing, you should be able to change the handle on the XEBEX. I know they make a wooden handle as well. Now on the monitor, on the XEBEX, there is pretty much all the information right there on it. You can hook up a heart rate monitor, there's meters, and then there's calories, strokes, time, and then your split times, and then however many watts you're rowing. There are adjustable modes, just like the Concept 2. It's a little not as well laid out as it is on the Concept 2 monitor. This is the PM5 Concept 2, so this is the latest monitor. Everything's a little bit more laid out, better. The monitor on the XEBEX rower stays on a lot longer than the Concept 2 monitor will. So if you're in a workout and you have to do repeats, then the XEBEX rower will stay on, where the Concept 2 will kind of reset itself. They both turn on very fast when you start rowing. Not a huge difference there. The chain on the XEBEX rower is a little bit different. I think it's a stainless steel chain. Then on the Concept 2, I think it was like a nickel chain. The flywheels almost look identical. Right, there's not a huge difference as far as the way that they look, but there's a little difference in the way that they perform. The Concept 2, no matter what I do, feels like it's a little bit harder to pull than on the XEBEX rower. Now, probably the biggest flaw of the 2.0 XEBEX rower is the way that it folds up and everything. It breaks in the middle, and then from there you have to fold it up. It doesn't take that much more space folded up in storage than the Concept 2, but it's a little bit harder to get around the gym, and it's kind of clunky to move it around. They could have easily fixed that by putting the wheels at the front end, which they did in the 3.0 model, but this is the 2.0. But overall, the machines themselves, very, very similar. Like I said before, the performance between the two machines is nearly identical, except for the fact that it always feels a little bit harder to pull on the Concept 2 than it does on the XEBEX rower. Now, that's not to say that my times, my split times, my calorie times, or my calorie counts per strokes aren't the same, because they always end up being the same anyway. So I'm assuming I'm just doing a lot more pulls on the XEBEX than on the Concept 2. But if you're looking at it from a stimulus perspective, there's not a huge difference between the two machines. The XEBEX is gonna whoop you just like the Concept 2 will. Now I'm gonna step back behind the camera so I can just go over a few more things with you guys. All right, so there you have it, guys. Not a huge difference as far as what the machines look like and what the hardware looks like. And if you haven't got the gist of it, not a huge difference as far as performance goes either. Like I said, you can still get a really good workout on either machines. Now, why would anyone buy the XEBEX rower over the Concept 2 rower? As an affiliate owner, stocking up on Concept 2 rowers is really, really expensive. The XEBEX rower costs like $750, the Concept 2 rower costs $900. There's really no way to get discounts on the Concept 2s unless you buy them used, which pretty much all of mine are, or you become a dealer and then you buy them off of whatever the dealer price is. So if you add $150 up per like 5 rowers, you know, you're saving quite a bit. You're almost getting a full rower more than you would if you just got 5 Concept 2s or 4 Concept 2 rowers or whatever. And that's not including all the discounts, the bulk discounts that you can get from GetRx, who sell the XEBEX rower. And then you pile that on top of, if you're making an affiliate and you are buying barbells, weights, bumper plates, dumbbells, you know, whatever an affiliate needs, then it adds up. And the savings that you're gonna get buying in bulk from that are probably gonna be pretty substantial, and that's probably why people got them in the first place. Now, if you're an affiliate or you're a garage gym athlete and you're planning on going to the CrossFit Games and you're planning on sending people to the CrossFit Games, you have CrossFit Games level athletes, don't buy a XEBEX rower. For the people that went into the Open going on the old XEBEX rower, fully knowing that the calibration was not the same and it was easier, you know, that's their fault and they're cheaters. But the company itself, XEBEX Fitness, GetRx, you know, isn't the one to be blamed for this whole fiasco. And on some level, it's part CrossFit's fault for not actually specifying that you need a Concept 2 rower until all of whatever happened. Now, the 15% penalty that they added on was probably fair, and if you like look at it mathematically, it'll probably add up to where it should have been. But like I said, if you were a regionals level athlete and you were using the XEBEX rower fully knowing that it was easier than the Concept 2, then shame on you. But otherwise, all the other unsuspecting people and affiliates that really, you know, were just trying to participate in the Open, it sucks for them. So, all in all, the XEBEX rower does have my recommendation, depending on where you're gonna be. If you're working out at home, and if you have a non-CrossFit affiliate, get XEBEX rowers. Who cares? You're not gonna be judged. The standard is Concept 2s, and if you're not having to adhere to any kind of standard, there's not a big deal. If you are an affiliate or you're a games level athlete and you want to practice on what they're going to be using in the games, get a Concept 2. You should spring for it. I will continue to buy Concept 2 rowers, but I will also continue to have the XEBEX rower here. People love it. I love it. I think it's a great machine. So if you guys have any questions about the XEBEX rower, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And as always, guys, please hit that like button, subscribe, and thanks for watching.